All right, we are here with the runner-up of Survivor 44, Heidi Lagares-Greenblatt. Heidi, how are you?
I am great. Thank you for having me. Oh my God, I cannot believe I'm talking to you, but I'm grateful. So thank you for
Believe it,
having me.
Heidi. We're here. Want to talk about this was what a surge here at the end here to go ahead and win that Final Four immunity challenge and put yourself into the fire. What didn't the jury get the memo? If you go into and make the fire at the Final Four, aren't you supposed to win the game? Isn't that what everybody says?
Right, right. I guess I proved people wrong in a wrong way.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us.
Listen, it's amazing. So having that moment, it's a good moment for me.
Sure, no doubt. Can you talk us through that decision and how far in advance you had made that, if at all?
I had no idea I was gonna make fire until Jeff said something along the lines of like, "You just guarantee top three, right?" And I was
Hmm.
like, "Unless I make fire." So it just was right on that at that exact moment that I needed to do it. Now, not until the very end is when I realized I was actually gonna do it. I because I wasn't sure if I was gonna pull through, if I was actually gonna make it work. And I'm proud I did, because that was like the hardest thing to do, to take that immunity off. Amazing, amazing. I can't believe I did it, and I'm proud I did, because that was a huge moment for me.
Well, you broke the record also for the fastest that it's ever been done. And I feel like that it keeps getting faster, but somehow you were the fastest.
I cannot, that is amazing. It blows my mind that in 44 seasons, that's the fastest. Wow. I know I didn't I was confident, but I never knew I could do it that fast. So I'm happy that happened. I hope nobody breaks my record so I can keep it forever and ever. But no,
Yeah.
no, no. Listen, that's amazing. I'm proud of
Heidi,
that moment.
they should retire it after this because your record was so good.
Maybe they should. I don't know.
They should. I mean, you could make 5 fires by the time we get off the call today.
Do you remember back in the day, like some people they're like, I'm gonna be an hour, and then the jury is like falling asleep. How
Yes.
are you
Yes.
calm, right? So I'm
Yes.
like,
Yeah, Becky and Sandra, sure. So
I
yeah, that's true. That's true. Did your background as an engineer help with Samotion?
That's a good question, because okay, so I know it's all about the timing, right? So as I'm putting the balls in the machine into motion, right? I'm like, okay, what is the timing for this? So it was a combination of timing, eye coordination, and squatting. Believe it or not, squatting, because you gotta go left and right coordinated. And it's like, I knew when the ball was in the middle, then you do throw the other one. And then it's like, okay, it has to be a third. And I'm like timing everything. So I do think that the engineering maybe unconsciously helped me happening. I felt so confident that I felt like I could throw two more and still be in it, because I was so in it. At no point I felt like I was losing control of it. So maybe yes, maybe there is something about it.
Okay. Heidi, could you tell us a little bit about how close of a relationship you had with Jam Jam during the game?
Oh, that's a good question. I love it so much because we are both Puerto Rican, right?
Sure.
There is like this special connection between the two of us. There's just something about it. And we couldn't speak Spanish there, right? Because we want to be fair throughout the game with everyone else. But we knew we couldn't be a duo. We just knew we couldn't be a duo. They would break us apart right away if we did that. So
Yes.
as fans of the game, and we were playing hard, we knew we just couldn't do that. But at the same time, we had this special connection. Explain, because it was almost something we just didn't talk about at all, because we didn't want it to be on camera in some ways. But yes, it's undeniable that we have a connection there just because of our background.
Yeah, that's so interesting because I was surprised that we didn't see more of that on the show. But that's interesting that you two felt like that, okay, we have a connection, but we can't really let it be a thing for the other players because we'll get targeted.
That's exactly right. And to say that we're both one and two from Puerto Rico, first, season ever to have two Puerto Ricans, and for both of us to be 1 and 2 is such a say I'm so proud of that. But yeah, we just knew if we actually were duo closer to each other, I'm so happy we made it that far.
Yeah. All right, Heidi. So last week, there was a lot of talk about your idol and maybe what you could have done and potentially changed up the Tika 3 getting further into the game. Can you talk through some of the things that you might have been thinking about when you were out there in terms of what you should do at the final 6?
Absolutely. Because let me say, I stand by playing the idol and making it to top 5 with it, right? And at that time for me, it was all about taking control of my own game and not letting other people make those decisions for me. So even though I didn't get any votes that day, I was okay with it because I was like, I'm making it to top 5 because of me, myself, and I, not because anybody else, right? So at the time I was at peace. I knew I was going to play it independently of whatever was said in tribal council, because I was making it to the next one, right? I went through all the permutations on how to use it, okay? Should I play it for Jamie? In my head, it was like, no way, I'm playing it for myself. Should I try to tell them that I have it and try to do something with it? Yes, I consider it. But the chemistries that we had at the time and them throwing my name so much on the parchment paper just didn't work out. It like I really wanted to, but I think it's like I had this undeniable thing that is like they're not going to work with me. So if I would have done that, maybe I would have survived for one more week or one more day, but then I would have been gone at 5 because it would have been a big move and they would have been like, okay, this girl's going out first, right? So I just knew I couldn't play it that way. Although I wasn't playing for 5, I was playing for 1, and at that time it just didn't feel right because it felt like I was going to be 5 if I did that.
Okay, so let me ask you about another big point in the game when you had the controller vote. And that was another one where a lot of people said, okay, well, why did Heidi do this? Why did Heidi do that? Can you talk through the decision that you made when you had the controller vote?
Fantastic. So thank you for the opportunity because I've been dying to talk about this one, right? I had to control the vote. And so many people are like, you should have put it at Ratu on Ratu, right?
Yes.
If I would have done that, you do the math. I'm assuming without knowing Jam Jam, that was like right after the merge. I'm assuming he's gonna go with me without knowing. We didn't talk to them before tribal council, right? So okay, I'm gambling. Maybe he goes for it. Matt goes for it. It actually, we all knew Lauren had the extra vote, so it would have been a tie. And then he's in self-preservation mode from everything that has happened at Tika. So I knew he was gonna be the one turning, and at the end of the day, guess what? I would have ruined my game. And then the same outcome would have happened, which is Matt going home. So I just knew I was gonna play it though, because so many people also ask me, why did you play it? It's like, because I play Survivor too, right? So I was gonna play it, but I was also trying to make the least amount of ways with it, and then I was just gonna deal with the consequences after.
Yeah.
But one thing, the advantage gave me so much information, which I thought it was a disadvantage, but I used the information that I got to then move forward and make decisions later on. So that, even though it felt like a little bit of disadvantage, not really, because the information is power, and that's what I used to get all the way to final 3 for myself. So
yeah, okay, well, thank you for that. That's really interesting and helps with going back to that vote. You said that you were going to play it, so I guess I had assumed that you had to play it. You had an option of potentially not using it if you didn't want to. Is that correct?
So in all honesty, I could have asked production, is this something I could just skip it or whatever?
Yeah.
And something they didn't show was I took a little too long to actually stand up and say it, because I was supposed to say it right after Jeff. And I'm like, am I doing this or not? So I really questioned it on the spot, right? Because I knew it was going to be a hard one. But I think I probably could have, I don't know. I didn't ask them. At the same time, in my head, I'm convinced I'm going to do it no matter what. playing the game, so I was taking the risks and then just dealing with the
Yeah.
consequences.
Yeah, they want you to do it. All right. So did Danny ever find out that you voted for him?
Yes, yes. And he did not believe anybody in the island. Everyone told him it was me. We have so many jokes about it because I lie so much to him about it. I was told that he went to Ponderosa, and the people in Ponderosa told him it was Heidi, and he still didn't believe it because we had a true bond behind the game, right? So when I told him I needed to do that to separate myself from him and show everyone else that I was willing to write his name, I knew that he wasn't going to go home that week, which is why I did it. Yeah, he didn't believe anybody until I actually told him, yes, I'm sorry, it was me. I had to do it. I need to show them that I was not Danny's puppet and that I could write his name down.
Yeah. Heidi, did you think you had any more votes before they got read at the final tribal council?
Of course, right? Like, I was hoping, and at the time I did everything I could, and I tried to explain my game there. Yeah, of course. I was fighting all the way to the end. The tribal council is so long and exhausting, right? But you better believe I was trying to get the people that maybe thought I will had a strong game. Jam just had clearly a better game than me because he's the winner, and I would never take away because he's a fantastic winner. But yeah, of course I was hoping for more, and I was trying to get the numbers my way, right? But it wasn't in the cards for me.
Would you have rather have seen one of the Tikas go out at the final 5 if that was a possibility? If Jam Jam wanted to turn on Carolyn potentially at the final 5?
I would have 100%. I think so. It would have been amazing to have one Ratu like Lauren at the end. Unfortunately, I was close. They didn't show that. Like, I was close with a lot of the Tika people there. I talked to actually Jam Jam and Carolyn about making it to top 3, the 3 of us, maybe day 2 of merge, which is crazy because people were so eloquent the way they talk, and Jam Jam and we have the accent, and sometimes we don't conjugate the verb properly or whatever. So I was like, these people are gonna outspeak us, right? Like, they're gonna be so good. And then Caroline was so fun and wild, so it's like, let's go together to the end. And funny enough, the 3 of us made it to the end. So I just, at the time, I felt like that we had the best chance against each other because I felt everyone else was so well spoken.
Yes. All right, Heidi, I know you have to run, but thank you for dealing with all the connection issues and a late night to talk with us this morning. So hopefully we can chat some more in the future, okay?
I cannot wait. Thank you. I love you so much, and I love your community. So thank you.
Love you too, Heidi, okay? All right, take care. My wife's favorite Heidi ever on the show.
That's right.
She tells me all the time. Yes. All right, take care. Bye, Heidi.